Well, video 4 from 2 Chronicles is titled Ask for Wisdom. And right through the Bible, and we'll see that in other books when we get to them, where wisdom is talked about a lot in Proverbs, talked about in the book of James, and it does come out everywhere. And Solomon in chapter 1 of 2 Chronicles, God says, ask for anything you want. And, you know, he could have asked for easy things, fun things, overcome some of the issues quickly today. I need these now. He could have asked for anything, but he said, no, I want wisdom to be able to manage and run your people properly. You'd say to yourself, well, that's the right answer. Well, it actually was for him, because God said, I'll give you that wisdom, and he certainly got that. And he said, because you haven't asked for all these material and things and whatever else, I'm going to give you all those as well. And, you know, he got the priority right in the first go. He got the right things first, and he could have asked for all the other things, but he chose wisdom so he could honour God and give him the glory and the first place in his life. Now that's a great way to start, but unfortunately later on in life, because he got all these things and he had the greatest empire of all time, some people regard him as the wealthiest person of all time in the way it's described, and people from other nations come to see him, and they were just blown away by not only the wealth, but actually the generosity back to them from him, even though they brought gifts. But he later lost focus as he went against God's commands, because one of the things God said, do not take foreign wives from other nations. And he did that from Egypt and other places. And he had a lot of wives, and they were all from foreign nations. And it says they turned his heart away from God to their gods. So these gods hadn't given him anything. And yet, because to please them, I mean, he's trying to please a lot of wives, so that's a task in itself. And then when we get to the book of Ecclesiastes, which will come, you know, in a few months, it outlines how he really lost his way. And it's almost a bit of a book of what is life? I've got all this, like my table is full of food, I've got everything I need, but what is life? He seems to have lost everything, lost his way. He feels hopeless, is what you really get out of that book. And the last chapters of Ecclesiastes then brings it back to, but above all else, honour God, because that's what's going to give you the life, the joy, the peace that you're seeking for. So, yes, we all like to be like Solomon, have all the wisdom and know everything that needs to be known, all the wealth, everything that goes with it, but it destroys virtually everyone who gets that amount, because they start to trust in it, they start to trust in themselves, they start to allow people get around them who are wrong, advisors in their life, because they can afford to have them. They do things against what God has required, and that's what Solomon did. And it's worthwhile reading those couple of chapters around Solomon and learn from the lessons that go there, and then, you know, open your heart and mind to receive, yes, wisdom, but then how to apply wisdom in each stage of your life, because our lives will change and difficulties will come, opposition will come, problems will come, but having wisdom to deal with them and stay the track is finishing well.